I'm Danielle, and I also attend the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth. This semester, our first assignment was to set goals for ourselves. My goals included hanging out with the cohort, speaking up on my internship when I needed help, and staying organized using my planner. So I didn't end up hanging out with the cohort as much as I would have liked to. I learned that staying organized was a skill I already mastered, and speaking up on my internship was easier than I was expecting. So what I learned through this experience was that setting realistic goals is what's really important. But what I didn't understand was how much I would learn about myself in the process. Although I felt unfulfilled and unproductive at times, I was learning so much about what my personal skills were. Deep down, I learned that I had other goals in mind. I wanted to get out and explore the city as much as I could, and I had really, really high expectations that this would be the best semester of my college career. This seemed pretty easily attainable, but for the first time ever, I had so much free time in my schedule. I had the freedom of living in such a fun city, and I had everything right at arm's reach. But the reality was that most days I got home from my internship and I was completely exhausted. I didn't spend nearly as much time going out in the city like I'd expected. Because of this, I felt like I wasn't accomplishing what I'd set out to do this semester. For example, I didn't go out, I didn't hang out with the cohort, and I ended up doing what I didn't think I would. But in the background, I learned that I actually did have some career aspirations. As a soon-to-be second semester senior, the dreaded question of what I want to pursue someday is really stressful for me. And up until Thanksgiving, I still didn't have an answer to that question. So I took that break and I reflected on my time. I thought back to sophomore year when I applied to take a class at the local House of Corrections with 15 inmates. And then I thought back to junior year when I applied to be a TA, and I hate public speaking and I hate this right now. And then I reflected back to my time in the present as a fellow for the College of Social Innovation. And I learned that for me, giving college students similar opportunities that I experienced is an interest of mine. As I reflect on my college career, I look back to the avenues in which I learned best, and they were not anything similar to a standardized classroom. So I hope to work in higher education to make experiential learning more equitable for all students. For me, it was really important that I took the time to reflect, to understand what it was and why I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I learned that I didn't feel dissatisfied because I didn't meet these goals I set out for myself. But instead, I was feeling unfulfilled because what my expectations were not how it planned out to be. I don't think it takes not reaching your goals to find what your real ambitions are all the time, but for me, it was certainly the turning point. If I didn't reflect each day on my T ride home, I wouldn't have been able to pinpoint exactly why I wasn't feeling gratified. So I think it's important to take time to reflect. And I challenge you to reflect. Reflect on the bad things and reflect on the good things. And it gives you that chance to develop your perspective for what you want to do with your life. Thank you.